is for all of us. This is not just a moment for Miguel and I. We're all the people who are the family of a different book list. I want Fata, I want Sandra, I want LaShawn, I want Sharice, Sojourner,
Liberty,
yeah, right?
Liberty.
I think Liberty, yes.
Yeah, Liberty.
We're missing Sister Shannon. Brother Malcolm, where are you? Brother Malcolm, I want to give a round of applause for Malcolm. Malcolm, every time that we think about somebody to help us move things or lift things, Brother Malcolm appears. I think he has bugged our basement, so that's why he just appears like that. But give him a round of applause, please, right? Because he has moved so many things in the cold for over 2 weeks.
All on a volunteer basis.
Yes. So we gotta big him up for that. I want to invite Judy Brooks. I want to invite Angela Peer. Please come forward. Judy, where are you?
Right here.
Right. I also want to say that George Randolph from the Randolph Academy, I want to thank you too as being a great neighbor. You brought 8 of your students today to help us with this move.
He's one of our board members.
And he's one of our board members. Yes. The Roach sisters, I want to thank you too because you came strong. Sunset came a week early and she moved over a book, right? And that was real funny. She was like crossing, right? Yeah. Our good friend Sandra Whiten, who couldn't be here with us today, she came yesterday and she moved a box. And I want to say publicly that over the years, as we had the bookstore, we would go every year to Sandra and we would go with a report card and asked her, how do you think we are doing? And she would have incredible suggestions for us. So I want to have that history be recorded. And there's so many people here that we can single out and say, you have done enormous things and great things to uplift all of us. We have moved from the west to the east. Isn't that something, right? Yeah, that's like real awesome kind of thing, right? And we are also in a time, in a day, where there's such negativity in the world. The big empire is tottering, there's Islamic phobia. There's so many things for us as progressive people to be concerned about and to be conscious about and to be vigilant about. And you thought it was necessary today to come in the cold day, the anti-Caribbean day, right? And I know when you rolled up and you sought to serve and protect, a lot of people start to freak out. Oh my God, you know what I mean? But today I think that they really did come to protect. And they came to protect us crossing the road safely. But you could have been any other place. And I know some of you will probably go on and stand with others in the demonstration today. But you also came because you know that the literature, the information that is contained and was contained in that space called a different book list is part of that progressive politics, and you wanted to see it further. So we really respect and appreciate today. To the elders, and I want to acknowledge Nana Murray sitting here. I want to acknowledge Dr. Rita Cox. I want to acknowledge Norman Otis Richmond, CKLN Community Radio, who broadcast at one point from the backyard of the bookstore. And we want to thank you and Sharita coming all the way from the bowels of Mississauga. Right? But over the years, you have discussed this moment, you have talked about this, you have talked about the spaces in our community. So this is really, really a huge day that you took the time to come. And I like the way that you are holding court. You're sitting. You notice they're the only people that get to sit there. Right? But that is to a level of respect. I can say many things. And Brother Glenn, I want to say this is Glenn Eversley who's thinking right now I'm putting him on the spot. And Glenn's wife passed away last year, our dear friend Ruby Ellen Eversley. And when you came this morning, I saw the beauty of your wife and the spirit of her, because the last time that she came to the store, she came to serve to help us prepare food. And despite her illness, she came with joy. And no one ever knew what she was going through at that time. So I know this morning when I saw you, the bittersweet moment that you are having coming through the door. So my brother, I want to tell you that the spirit of Ruby is with us today. And we thank you too for coming from all the way from Oakville, you know, going into Hamilton. Plenty gas in your car, right? To do that. To Stephen Ware, and I would be amiss to not to acknowledge you, Stephen Ware. Over the time in all of the projects that we have had, sometimes crazy ideas, but when we called you and we said that today was a day we were desirous to do that, unhesitatingly, you just jumped in and you thought, how can I enable your efforts? And to the brother Ivor Piku, you came over the week and you documented the demise of the empire that we know across the street, the darkness of Onisets. Every morning when we came to the store, you could hear the village start up. You could hear the fans of Butler's Pantry, of Southern accents, and then you would hear another rhythm and another energy, and that was the rhythm and the energy of the Caribbean Roti Palace. All of these fans and engines coming out of restaurants, almost a kind of a way in harmony. And as the days went by, you could just hear people just falling out of harmony. So Brother Piku, you came and you documented and took footage of the empire and the darkness of the empire. And we had a wonderful moment because we asked ourselves this question. The Beguiling, who is also an independent bookstore, and ourselves, we were kind of like the last to be. And we asked ourselves this question: is knowledge the last to leave the block? After the restaurants had passed, the clothing stores, the people who did pottery, the people who were visual artists, made jewelry, all those kind of things, all those things. But knowledge seemed to be the last to leave. Or we said, and we made a joke, are we the last man standing like Geronimo Pratt? And then the other thing we thought, are we Darth Vader and Star Wars? You know what I mean? We had all of those things. But we didn't take it lightly that at the end of the day, people of African descent and African Canadian people from the Caribbean came to Bathurst, and Bloor, not for handouts, but to meet people, to engage in community, to remember the days of the home service, to remember the times when they shopped at Miss Joyce and they saw the brilliance of Bev Maskell, and when she traveled in her car and brought the beauty of products to our people so that women could have makeup and skincare things so they could look and feel good. For the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters and all the black men that worked on the transit, to our medical doctors who took up this space called Bathurst Street. This is why we came to this area. So it was very important for Miguel and I and the family of A Different Book List and Sojourner San Vicente. And Sojourner, we want to thank you. Oftentimes when people have businesses and parents have business, they compete with the lives of their children. So we want to publicly thank you for your steadfast. Yeah? Being steadfast. We want to thank you for all the times we exploited you and made you sell books and you were 5. Right? We want to thank you. Yes. For all of that. And it is for all of these reasons that we are here today in this newness. When we were thinking about where to move and how to move, there were many options on the table, several options on the table. We called many people. Many of you had ideas. Many of you gave us input into what the newness could be. And then sometimes we can travel all across the world to look for the diamond, but sometimes the diamond is right in your backyard. And every time that we look through the window at 746 Bathurst Street, we would see two things. We would see the gold sign that says Midas. And I remember many days as I am watching the gold sign Midas and I'm about to pop off on somebody on the phone, the gold sign would always say to me, stoop to conquer. Yeah! And, sometimes it put me in check like that, right? And then the next thing we would see is the pink sign that says retail for lease. And the whole time we say, well, where we moving, boy? We gotta find a place to move. And right across the street, the whole time it says retail for lease. And so after we had explored several options. We thought that it was important that we could move to this space. And also I'm going to say that in our relationship and in our dealings with West Bank, the new developer, right now, it has been a positive experience. We don't approach West Bank as a developer capitalist. This is how we approach West Bank. The founder and the owner of West Bank, his name is Ian Gillespie. So when we heard his name, we know that he had to be a jazz man because he must be in the tradition of Dizzy Gillespie. So that's how we approach West Bank, because for some strange reason, all the higher echelons of West Bank, Ian Duke. And when we met Ian Duke, we talk of Duke Ellington. So that's how we approach the corporation, with the history of jazz and the history of our people, because they must be coming with creativity. To my good friend, to Karen Murray, I also want to acknowledge you, Karen, for all your efforts. You're an incredible educator, and I want you to come forward to my sister, because in this journey of the different booklets, you have been solid as a rock. Solid. Gita, come forward too. You have taken us to the 22nd century, because every single day we would say, we got to get on social media, boy. Gita came to volunteer. All the young people and everybody standing with us came to the bookshop to volunteer. That was their first act of civic engagement, to volunteer. And then they ended up being the ex-Liberty. We call on you, come up, man, closer. Everybody come up closer, yeah, man. And they became family. And Gita one Saturday just simply said, I am going to communicate to the world and tweet and let the world know more about you. So for this, Gita, I know you have quiet dignity, but we love you up for that, right? I'm a woman of very few words. Very few words. So I'm going to pass it on to my husband now, Miguel Sanchez, right? Right? To speak now to the cultural center piece. Yes. And
how can you stop that? I mean,
yes.
What is
Yes.
So, really, as you see, Aita has been the inspiration of this bookstore. She's been the soul, the energy, the creativity, the outreach, and all the ideas that generated out of the bookstore. She's the source of them. So we want to give her a big No, the only thing, well, first I want to just thank Tom Power for coming this morning and offering his truck. He just phoned up one day this week and said, do you need a truck? And he said, oh yes, we have some furniture to move. And there was it. And he came from Orangeville, you know, in Ontario. And he brought a friend who is from an island that I'm sure many of you, or most of you, or maybe all of you have never heard of and don't know anybody from that island. What's the island, brother?
Seba.
Seba. Have anybody heard about Seba?
Yeah, they bought the book at our store.
Right. Yes. So Derek here is from Seba, and he helped us move this morning's furniture. So, yes. Well, I wanted me to say something about the new arrangement we have going forward. So we're going to take you over into the new space so you can see what it looks like. But it's we have developed what a different bookless cultural center, and we have established that as a non-profit organization going forward in the future. So we have space now that will be the center will occupy, and the bookstore will be now a tenant of the center. So that's the arrangement we have, and you will see the kind of space we have. We think it's going to be a vibrant, energetic, for social innovation, for cultural innovation, all those things. And we expect to showcase the history of Blackhurst Street on the walls of that center. So it's going to be an exciting development, and we look forward to it. So if you guys would come now, and let's go in there and see the center. the bookstore will be in this space over here, right? That's where, and this will be the multi-purpose space and event space. So it's a community. Oh, hello. Oh, Gary Freeman. You guys know Gary Freeman and not this? Wait, oh. Yes. You guys know them?
Yes.
The people who were being persecuted by both the U.S. police and the Canadian government. I think in collaboration, because Gary Freeman had come to Canada as a refugee from the police in the United States. And many years afterward, they discovered that he was here living under a different name. You remember that story? And then they deported him back to the States. But fortunately, because he was right in the beginning, and his cause was just, he was able to fight it and win and get back into Canada. And a lot has to do with the efforts of his wife at the sea.
Nice. And Brother Gary and Naticia, I want to say this. The day when the phone rang at the bookstore and the voice said this, and I'm almost verbatim on this. My name is Gary Freeman, and I want to thank the people of Toronto. I want to thank Norman Burgess Richmond. I want to thank the people of a different book list. I want to thank George Eliot Clark and all the people who rallied behind me to make this day possible. And I remember thinking, we have so many books in the store about overcoming, about the history of people who have had persecution, all kinds of different things. And here was an incredible moment of history where this voice from the other side said, thank you because you are part of my victory today. I will never ever forget that moment. And I remember I screamed my head off because, wow, history had called us to that moment. So I really want to thank you too for your passion.
So we invite you guys to make this space your home. This is your space,
yes.
Right? And tell everybody about it so that it become a vibrant, innovative space. One more thing. We're going to invite Dr. Rita Cox to sit, has been on this journey with us right from the beginning. I remember before we actually even opened the bookstore, when we just took it over, we had a meeting with Dr. Cox because we wanted her advice and we actually wanted her patronage because we felt that such an important figure as her, that it would be just a blessing to have her patronage. And so she sat down with us and gave us very good advice and so forth that has stood us in good standing all these years. So let us thank Dr. Rita Cox.
Great happy day for me because I see us continuing. I see us growing and developing in a way we should. I see us owning something that comes out of us, comes out of our heart, comes out of our soul. And I wish, what I love to see is all the young people who are going to carry on. Because you see, this is, I feel like the grandmother now. And I'm so proud of Miguel and Aita for persevering and developing this place. You can't call it a bookstore anymore. This center, this place of culture and literature and everything else. This place where we can come together as a community. It makes me so proud that this day has come. And I know that because we have people who are going to succeed us, it will continue. This is a very, very happy, historic day in my own life. I feel, and as sure we all do, this is ours. It belongs to us and we belong to it. So again, congratulations and blessings, and let us continue the support that we need to give to this venture. So many of our ventures have passed, they rose and they faded. This is a new beginning, and I hope we keep it growing and blooming and blossoming, and as the young people will take it over, it will be a tribute to our community and to all the contributions we have made to this country. This is it. Thank you.
Okay, folks, we'll have some refreshments, and I expect you. Yeah, welcome. Yeah. Maybe you're going to ask Julie Brooke. She is representing the board of the Cultural Center, and you're going to ask her to say a few words.
So as a collective and as a community collective, we welcome you to this space, and we will continue welcoming you, enjoying your spirit, enjoying your community spirit, and we just wanted to say thank you. That's it. On behalf of the board members, thank you. And we'll see you soon. Enjoy.
Hi, as Dr. Rita Cox just said, this is a very special day for us. On behalf of the board members, we welcome you to our cultural center, Different Booklist Cultural Center, where we want to share, enjoy, and have great fun, intellect, and share our challenges and successes with our members of our community and beyond our community. So welcome to this very historic and special day.